Right, everybody, I want to talk to you about something which is really annoying, okay? And that is these forks from a Piaggio X Evo. This is an X Evo 125. Forks needed repairing because the seals had gone. And I'm not going to cover the seal operation in this video. It's more how to disassemble this damper rod. If you want to look at a spring, how it's made up, how a set of shock absorbers are made up, it's done with this great big spring which sits inside the main damper. On the end of it is damper rod. This comes in contact here and it all sits in that tube and it's compressed down eventually with this nut, which you can see it here, sits on the end. Now the thing is, when you go to take these off, the manual says using this bolt at the bottom of the actual leg itself, you undo that and that will release this. Now this you can't take out, or let's say you can't take the whole rod out until such times, because this sits inside this tube, you can't take this out until you've taken this off. So nothing will remove from here until this thing is undone. So that is sitting inside the tube here, and this nut, which I've taken another one out, is screwed into the bottom of that like that. Now, the trouble is, when you read the workshop manual, it says put a 12mm hex socket, which this one is, a 12mm, on an extension of some kind, and run it down the bottom of the tube. So you're running it down so you can connect with this here. Now the thing is, when you're trying to do this and you've got a 12mm, I put the 12mm down it successfully, but as you can see, it doesn't hold anything. Now I phoned several dealers about this and said, can I buy a tool to put down there please? And they bear in mind, I'm thinking this is 12mm. So I'm thinking, right, that's easy, put a 12mm down, sort it out. So I phoned several dealers and said, can I buy a tool? They went, no, there doesn't seem to be one available. So the next option is, well, how am I going to get this thing undone? I spoke to several dealers. They said the best way to do this is to have the spring inside, lock the cap off, okay, compress the spring down really tight, and to do that, all I did was I popped this strap through the leg. I actually wrapped it around the top here and I pulled it really tight. Once that was compressed, I then took an air gun from here and whizzed that bolt out, and everything was fine. But not everybody's got one of these air guns, or in fact a compressor to run it. So the most sensible way is to lock it off with a tool. Well, because I couldn't see this, doesn't matter how much you put a light down this tube, you cannot see what that is. But in the end, I did find one in my stock bits, which is this fella here, and that does lock onto it perfectly. But I think this is more 14 or 16mm, and I'll confirm that as we finish off the video. Unfortunately, this item I've got here, random in my garage, doesn't actually say any size on it, so it's difficult for me to determine. But that's really how you do it. So if you can lock this off, you don't need one of these, and this is not 12mm, this is a lot larger. Now I've got maybe a set of 40 or 50 bits, but nothing quite this big. So it's something you need to go down to your local supplier, see if they've got one. I will, at the end of this video, as I say, put on the final size so that you know what to do. The rest of it, once you've undone that bolt, the whole assembly will pop out. It comes all the way out, and inside there the spring comes out with it as well. This one's the damper rod, you can see is in here, and that's really how it goes together. So I hope that helps everybody. It's certainly something I couldn't do, and the dealers couldn't tell me. They didn't even think there was any way of locking that off. So I hope that helps. Hope you can get yourselves on the road and not waste 4 hours like I did.